Did you know that astrology has been limited or restricted throughout history? First off, it's true, and you can read it in this book, A History of Western Astrology by Nicholas Campion. He has two parts. Generally, it seems that astrology was restricted because of its perceived threats to existing power structures. Also, it's worth noting, isn't it curious that both Einstein and Tesla have quotes that seemingly support astrology that have been often noted to be not their quotes or misattributed to them? It's widely debated whether Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, which is actually literally what kind of string theory, which is our best understanding of how the universe works, says the universe works, and also the basis of astrology. Widely disputed whether or not Einstein said astrology is a science in itself, one that contains an illuminating body of knowledge. It has taught me many things, and I am greatly indebted to it. Then let's not forget that quote by J.D. Morgan, who said that millionaires don't believe in astrology because billionaires believe in astrology. Maybe these men didn't say any of these things, but isn't it curious that both these quotes are heavily disputed whether or not they said it? Because who would it benefit to say that they never said that? It's not you, it's not me, it's other people with money. In the book and historically, you'll find that from the Roman Empire to the medieval times to almost about now, from the inception of the Roman Empire, were wary of astrology because they feared that having the common man have knowledge and access to astrology would lead to open rebellion. Why? They feared that it would inspire opposition to the existing ruling class and destabilize the current political order. This trend happens throughout many parts of history, but it's worth noting that the Romans and the medieval rulers and kings in Europe were often found to restrict access to astrology, simultaneously asking for advice from astrologers. And if you think suppression of knowledge is something that just happened back then, you'd be surprised by now what's called hidden knowledge in the idea of interdimensional beings, aliens, since the 60s till now. I would look up Jacques Vallée, who is one of the leading experts on interdimensional beings and even hired by the CIA. And a lot of his work coincides with the Gateway process, which talks about how consciousness is the framework of the universe with the holographic universe. It's free. It's also on the CIA website. And his work is also backed up and relates to two other people who talk about how, again, interdimensional beings are just what we perceive as aliens, etc., etc. Video coming soon. Also, if history has taught governments anything, the best way to hide anything is in plain sight. And what's in plain sight? Not hiding the information, but just making it extremely inaccessible or socially not cool to be into. Because if you restrict something, psychologically, people are like, well, I want to know, why can't I do it? And then they'll do it. But if you allow something, but just social engineer people and society to think that it's stupid, they will self-censor themselves. Because what was the CIA very interested in with MK Ultra? Mind control, influencing the mind, influencing the public. Because what else is Project Mockingbird? Influencing of the public. You know what they say about anxiety? It's just a prison of the mind. I bet you could engineer that. Doesn't it kind of make you curious, like all the pushback and all the classifying of astrology as fringe kind of mirror what's happening back then? These restrictions and hypocritical uses of astrology seem to suggest that it isn't nothing and it may be something. What do you think? Also, this is just part one of a bunch of videos I'm going to do on this subject, so don't think this is all the fucking evidence I have.